Oh, this is a touchy topic, isn't it? Insecurities. Oh, man. So I'm going to share with you guys a lot of stories of the insecurities that I have, still have, and I battle on a daily basis. But before I start and dive into that, the first thing I want to tell you guys is everybody has insecurities. The most beautiful people in the world have insecurities. I've yet to encounter a single person in my life that isn't insecure about something. And the funny thing is some of the most beautiful women I've ever met in my life have been the most insecure, ironically enough. I've usually found a correlation to that the better looking somebody is, the more insecure they become. Almost because I think maybe they're told that they're good looking, so they set a standard for themselves. I'm not really too sure on that. But what I want to share with you is some of the insecurities that I have, all right, and what I battled. So growing up, I was always the smallest kid. Always the smallest kid. Nowadays I'm about 6 feet tall, about 200 pounds, more or less. So I'm not too small anymore. But going through high school, I was the second smallest kid in my grade. Going into high school in freshman year, I was about 5 feet tall, same height as my sister. All right. And as I went through high school, I was continuously the smallest kid, and it really almost gave me a complex in a way, right? And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I go to the gym now, to try to get bigger, because it subconsciously implanted itself in my head that way. But not only was I small, right around sophomore year I started gaining a lot of body fat, all right? And as I was going through puberties, I developed gynecomastia, all right? Gynecomastia being man boobs, bitch tits, whatever you want to call it. What it is a gland that forms as tissue underneath the skin. Could be sometimes just fat, or sometimes it's a gland. All right, in my case, it is an actual gland. And once that popped up, I became so unbelievably insecure about it. I went a full year wearing hoodies, button-down shirts, anything I could do to try to eliminate that insecurity that I had. All right, I went to some pretty extreme lengths. I used to wear compression shirts on a daily basis just to try to push my chest down. All right, I even went as far, I'm not even kidding when I say this, guys, is I used to take packing tape, that clear packing tape that's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide, and I actually used to tape my chest down from here to create tension to push my chest in. I did that on both sides. I did that for a very long time. All right, I'm talking, it would get so red and bruised and just, there was times where it would bleed. It was terrible, but I did that because it was the only way I could put on a t-shirt and feel comfortable with myself on a daily basis. I didn't have to hunch over. I didn't have to wear a button-down shirt. I didn't have to do any of those things because of the tape that was on my chest. And I share this very personal anecdote with you because I want you to know that I understand what that's like. Obviously, as you guys have been watching my videos, you'll see that one of my ears are not the same as the other. All right, and that's not because one ear is bigger. It's because this ear actually protrudes a little bit. Okay, that's something that I was insecure about for a very long time, even went as far as potentially getting surgery and having a consultant with a surgeon to have that corrected because it was so bothersome to me. I recall there was a kid that came up to me in high school and went up to me and went like this, straight to my face, shook his head and goes, "Yep, no, one's bigger," and walked away. Not even kidding you, right? Really dick thing to do, but that's high school for you, right? But it made me very insecure. So now I've got an ear that's not the same, I've got a chest that's not symmetrical, and I've got gynecomastia that's formed. I can't wear a t-shirt, can't hide your face, so I got to deal with that. And then on top of it, my whole adult life I've suffered it from acne. Acne runs in my family. It's a genetic thing. There's nothing I can do about it. All right, and it's held me back from a lot of things. Even when it comes to making these videos, there's been a lot of days where I want to produce content, but I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, damn, man, you got acne flare-ups and whatever it happens to be. But you need to recognize that at a certain point, none of that matters. None of that stuff matters. It matters to you, but most people don't even really recognize it. Even today, I have a few acne spots on my face. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. All you can do is keep moving forward and detach yourself from it. All right? You need to do what you can to try to keep yourself in an area where you're growing. And in my opinion, what I've learned is the best way to do that is to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions, because the only thing that could come from it is you growing and learning. All right? So, the gynecomastia bit, That was the biggest reason why I started going to the gym and pursuing my own fitness journey, is because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't put tape on my chest. My chest was bleeding. I had these big red welts across my chest for months as a result of doing that. It's gone now, thank God. But that's what I went through, and I did something about it. I couldn't take it anymore. I wasn't just going to go through my life harboring these insecurities. So what did I do? I embarked on a fitness journey. And I worked out, I dieted, I did what I needed to do to minimize the appearance of my gynecomastia. I still have it, all right? And you can probably see in some of my photos that you can definitely see that there's not quite the level of definition that another guy would have. And that's because of the gynecomastia. And I've thought about getting the surgery, still might later on down the road. But at this point and where I am in my life, I recognize that it doesn't matter. And striving for this perfection really isn't going to do anything but mentally deteriorate you on a daily basis. But that's not to say that you shouldn't do something about your insecurities. Some things you have no control over, all right? Let's say, for instance, you don't like your face, you don't like your nose, you don't like something about your body. Some things you can change, some things you can't. The things that you can't change, you just need to embrace it. And I know that's very easy to say and difficult to do, but you need to embrace that this is who you are, all right? You can't go comparing yourself to all of these elite, attractive people that are in the media, in movies, on social media. They are the elite. It's almost like the same as comparing yourself to a professional sports player when you play, recreationally with your buddies. You play football on Sundays with your buddies. Would you compare yourself to an elite level NFL player? Probably not, right? So you need to think about that. Keep things into perspective. All right? But again, if there is an insecurity that you have that you can control, in my case, it was my chest. Maybe for you, it's being overweight. Maybe you don't want to go to the beach or go to pool parties because you don't want to take your shirt off. Maybe you're a woman and you wear a onesie as opposed to a bikini because you don't like the way your body looks. You need to recognize that an insecurity like that can be fixed. You just need to put the work in. If you were anything like me, when you were going out, when you were going to meetings, when you were talking to people, when you were doing all sorts of things, it would be in your head. You would be thinking about your appearance. And that would inhibit your ability to formulate thoughts and put yourself out there. Maybe you'd be more reserved. Maybe you wouldn't go and approach different people. Maybe you didn't feel comfortable going to networking events. Whatever it happens to be, but it was holding me back. So I did something about it. And that's what I want you guys to do, is do something about it. Don't take it lying down. If you are in a position where you are insecure as a result of your weight or your body composition, please reach out to me. Please. I will have a free consultation one-on-one with you and help put together a plan that works for you. All right? I don't want to see anybody out there that puts on clothes and doesn't feel comfortable in their own skin. I'm serious when I say this. I want everybody to be able to hold their head up high, chest out, and power through life without worrying about that and having that weigh on your conscience. Because I know what that's like, man. I know what that's like. And it sucks. It flat out sucks. It's not fun. And as you go through life and you start making these changes, you develop this sense of pride for what you've accomplished. And eventually, those insecurities won't seem as drastic and that monumental to you any longer. Because you'll recognize that nobody cares but you, and you're doing something about it. And it's those small little baby steps that'll provide you with that confidence. You need to start, though. You can't push it off. You can't set dates on the calendar. You need to start right now. There is no better time besides now. The present is the time to do it. Stop making excuses. There is no excuse. You have to take action and execute. That's all I can say. Take action and execute. So, if you are in that position where you are insecure about something on your body, I really want you to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to sit down and speak with you and put together a plan that works for you. But I don't want to see anybody out there, guy or girl, that can't put on clothes and feel good about themselves leaving the house. Especially women. I'm talking to you women out there. There's a lot of women out there that try on 5 outfits a day because they don't like the way that they feel. All right? I want to help you change that. I want to help you feel better about yourself. I want you to be able to put on a $5 shirt from Walmart and be like, yeah, I look good. That's what I want. I want everybody to get those insecurities out of their head so they can focus on what's really important in your life, and that's progression and growth. All right? But if you're being weighed down by insecurities and you're not investing in yourself, you're not going to get there. Whatever it happens to be that's holding you back, if it is maybe your teeth, maybe it's your ear, maybe it's your chest, whatever it happens to be, let's get it fixed. Fix whatever is holding you back so you can confidently put yourself out there and feel good about yourself. All right? Maybe it's something as simple as needing a new wardrobe. I want to share with you a little story about the wardrobe bit there. Barbara Corcoran. Barbara Corcoran is one of the sharks that's on Shark Tank. Very successful real estate mogul based out of New York City. I had the opportunity to attend a private seminar with Barbara Corcoran herself. And she shared a very, very powerful story about how she was a waitress working outside of New York City, and this gentleman came in that went by the name of Ramon Simone. Okay? So he comes in, ends up formulating some kind of a relationship with her, ends up bringing her into the city. And when she went into the city, she didn't feel comfortable with herself because of her attire. Her wardrobe really wasn't up to snuff, she didn't feel like anyway. So the first thing she did was went to a department store and bought a very lavish coat. She spent a lot of money on that coat. But she said that that coat was the best purchase she had ever made in her life because it made her feel powerful. It made her feel good about herself to the point where she could walk into these meetings and speak to these very prestigious people, hold her head high, and speak to them as equals. It was a coat that did that for her. That catalyst may be different for you, but for her it was a coat. For you, it may be losing weight or maybe fixing something else about yourself. But I want each and every one of you to feel that level of power and to feel empowered with how you go through your day. And the only way you can do that is by taking action and executing. And with that, guys, I am out of here. Hopefully you liked it. Please comment, like, and subscribe down below. And as always, feel free to visit my website if you want personal development coaching as well as fitness coaching. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. See you later.